auger up. We're storing them in a bin until the company wants them, and then we'll haul them out later. So we've got a little bit of work to do. The conveyor that they send out when we unload them is kind of big and awkward, and we need to dig a hole underneath the unload. That way it fits, and we want to get that done before it freezes. So I'm on my way over there with the Kubota loader tractor. We're going to dig a little hole with the bucket and then set up our auger to fill, because we're thinking that we're going to be able to cut the beans maybe tomorrow. It's Monday morning. We got a little bit of rain over the weekend, about not quite a half inch, so that kind of put the stop to things for a little while. We got our wheat planting started. We still have to finish that. We're not sure if it'll go later today or if we'll have to wait a little bit. The ground was kind of damp yet this morning, so we're just letting it dry off and get some odd jobs done before then. So this is our second year growing seed beans, and what that means is we will store the beans, and then the company that we grow for will buy them back and package them and sell them to growers to plant for seed for next year. So we use these two bins. We don't own them. We're just borrowing them from some friends of ours, and they're actually pretty nice bins. They got good floors in them, good fans. They're not very big, but they're just right for seed beans. So I came over here a little while ago and cleaned up around them. I don't know if you can tell, but we dug a hole in this one because we only had seed beans in this one last year. But we need to do the same thing over on that bin, because the conveyor that they send out, it flattens out at the bottom and it's like 10 feet long. So this is kind of hard to get under. If we had a 45 unloader that came up, it'd be a lot easier to deal with. But we've also got some equipment to move around. The 1206 is over here, and our little old red field cultivator. So we need to get that stuff moved around so we can get trucks in here. Well, that didn't work. Well, we've replaced 2 out of the 4 hoses on this thing, and it seems like every time we use it, one of the hoses blows out. This old field cultivator is not worth anything, but it's still kind of handy to have around, so we try and keep it, but I guess we'll move this later. We got the hole dug. Should have room for the conveyor when it's time to unload, but for now we're focused on filling the bins, not unloading them. So we're gonna get our auger set up. See if the 2 of us can pick it up. Got the auger set up. We got to get this sweep auger out of here. That's what you use when you clean the bin out. We got our sample bags, sample labels in here. They want a sample out of each load. That way they can do genetic purity tests and weed sample tests and all that. That way they can get them through their clearing process and know they're good for seed. So. so we wanted to get this field cultivator moved. That way when we're dumping trucks, we can pull up in here and back up to the auger, but we blew that hose and we need to get this box scraper out of here. So we're gonna grab the tongue with a chain and pull it out of there, and then later on today or tomorrow we can get a new hose for this and back this up to the shed or move it somewhere else. That way it's out of the way. Alright, we're pretty much done here. I'm going to take the Kubota and the box scraper back to Dad's, and then we're going to go out to Grandpa's where the combine's at, and we got to get the combine cleaned out. That way we can keep our seed beans clean and they won't get mixed in with any other beans that we've been harvesting already. Well, we got our combine cleaned out, and that's always fun, but we decided that since it's looking like beans are going to be able to go tomorrow, we ought to start planting the wheat in this other field that we have. We can at least get the border done anyway. That way in the morning we can just come out here and not be held up and just try and knock this out before the beans get fit. So I'm just going around and just getting my borders done, got the end rows done at that end of the field, do my end rows there, and then I'll probably be out of wheat and it'll be dark by then anyway. So this drill doesn't have a monitor actually, so I don't really like running at night. That way we make sure we can do a good job. So I just want to get the border done, that way we don't have to mess with it in the morning. So I'm gonna roll this into tomorrow. We should be able to cut wheat beans. We got our auger set up, we got the combine cleaned out, we got everything ready to go. So whenever they're fit, we can just go. So see you tomorrow. Well, good morning everyone. We're back out here in the wheat field. I'm trying to get this wheat knocked out early because there was really no dew this morning, and I think the soybeans are going to go pretty quick. So we got about 45 acres left here, and then we can move on to harvesting the seed beans. So it's looking like it's going to be a pretty good day. Sun's coming out and no dew this morning. That's perfect for cutting beans. We got a little bit of a breeze, that also helps. So looking good. Going to be a good day. Time to fill it back up. Alright, so I filled up the drill and not all the seed I had fit in there. There's still a little bit left in the box, so I ran it down a little bit. That way I could empty the seed tender out. Now I've got 4 empty boxes, and the weather is getting really nice, and I'm seeing a lot of people around me starting to cut beans. So I think I'm gonna let this wheat wait, and we're gonna switch over to cutting beans. Like I said, we're doing those seed beans. So, lost my train of thought. So we're doing the seed beans, so I don't want them to get too dry because they don't want splits, because a split soybean will not grow. So they want them 13.5 to 14%, and anything under that they really don't like us cutting. We will kind of push it a little bit because it's really hard to keep soybeans right in that perfect range. So we're going to go ahead and get started and do what we can. We can finish this wheat later.
Base 751, or by going to balanceofmajors.com and make sure to receive this special radio offer.
guard. Got a broken one down there too, so. And I forgot my gloves. Alright, we got the 2630 monitor set up. Now I just gotta set up a climate monitor. Oh, where are we at? Brenners. Yes. Alright, we should be ready to go. Growing seed beans, it's all about genetic purity. We had to clean the combine out, clean everything out, make sure we didn't get any off-type seed in there. The other thing they like us to do is when we first start in the field, cut a little bit and then dump it into a wagon or a separate truck and take it to the elevator. So Dad's bringing us a wagon out here, and I just made one pass across the ends. We'll dump this into the wagon. That'll be kind of our clean out sample. And then also, my neighbors on both sides have soybeans, so I have to stay away from them a little bit. And when we get the field done, I'll go and get those strips and put those in the wagon too. That way, the company gets the seed that they want and not off-type. Cutting pretty good. Monitor is saying 11.4%. It usually reads a little low, so I'm hoping they're in the mid-12s because we don't want to be splitting them. Imagine if we had to haul all of our grain with a little bitty wagon like that. We would never get done, and I would never hit the wagon with the grain because that's a long ways out there. Alright, we got our purity purge done. That's kind of what I call that. Let's get back to harvesting. So these beans were really clean until about the middle of summer, and then we started getting a whole bunch of mare's tail. You probably can't see that over there, but it looks pretty nasty. I'm kind of glad you can't see it that well, but we are going to switch to all enlist beans next year. These are extends, and we can't use dicamba anymore, and the chemical we used doesn't work on mare's tail, and it's not great on water hemp. It does okay, but it's not great. So we're going to switch to all E3s next year, be able to spray 2,4-D on them, and that'll keep them clean. Well, we've been cutting for a while, and one of the guards on the drive end of the sickle broke, which is one that I just changed. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but it's kind of a big job to change it. That's why I changed it while we had the sickle out, and it only lasted less than 100 acres. So we've got to work on this.
Hold on.
That's broke. Whatever that is. I guess that doesn't really do anything.
Hold on, I didn't get on.
You gotta go between the knives and then slide it.
That's what I did. See, that's what happens. There we go.
Well, we got that fixed, kind of a pain. We bought guards from Shoop this year, and I'm guessing that wasn't the thing to do because those Shoop guards haven't even made it 100 acres and they're breaking on us. So I guess we're gonna have to buy guards from Deere from now on. So we're back up and running, gonna get emptied out and get back to it. Got both trucks full and the combine's full. Dad was having some issues over at the bin site getting started, so it's just right around the corner. I'm going to run over there and see if he needs any help and see what's going on anyway. Everything's going good so far. Beans are a little dry. They are under 11%, which is not ideal, but I talked to some other guys that grow seed beans and they said just keep going. They put some in the bin that were 8% last year, and same company we're growing for, Ag-Reliant, they took them. So we're gonna keep going. It's too nice of weather to stop cutting beans. So we had this auger set up, and this is a one-way cylinder, which means it just has one hose that raises it. It doesn't have two like a two-way cylinder. But there's this vent at the bottom, and the inside seals must be out because it's leaking down. So we had to pull it off the bin, and we tried to fix it, see what we got now. Yeah, it's gonna need some more work. I don't think we're gonna be able to use this auger. Well, that sucks. So Dad's calling to see if he can get parts. The way this works is there's seals on the inside of the ram, and since it's a one-way cylinder, it just fills the one side of it with oil, and when those seals go out, it bypasses, and that vent starts leaking, and then the auger won't stay up. So we can't have it sagging on the bin, otherwise we're gonna wear it out. So we're gonna have to fix it right before we can really use it. So we can't find any parts for that cylinder, so we went and got our corn auger. That was our fastest option. So we're gonna get this other one out of the way, put that one set up, and hopefully it works. And we finally got the first load going up at 5 o'clock. This was one of those times where I really didn't want to be filming because everyone was kind of on edge. Breakdowns are never really fun, and they never really happen at opportune times. But that's farming. Stuff breaks down, you just got to roll with it and fix it when it breaks. No sense crying about it. So we got everything running. I'm gonna go back, put some fuel in the combine while Dad's dumping that truck. By then he'll have a truck for me to dump in, and we can keep cutting. Well, we got a few loads in the bin, and the beans are starting to get way too dry. They're under 10% now, so I'm gonna finish topping off this last truck and call it a night. It's supposed to be nice weather tomorrow and the rest of the week, so we shouldn't have any problems getting this out. I got, let's see, 25 acres left in this field. So as long as there's no dew in the morning, it shouldn't take us too long. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this harvest content. There's still a lot more to come. We're just getting started with harvest. I know harvest is everyone's favorite, so stick around. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and see you on the next one.